So getting back from work now, the nights are dark. If I want to go out and feed my Ranchu, I'm trying out some of the Lucky's Ranchu gel food there, which seemed like a good value for money, better than the Repeshi, so I thought I'd give it a go. Clip from the summer really. I was growing my tomatoes, they seem to be dying off, and this is obviously a few weeks old now, but they've actually all died now. But I was feeding them with the fish waste, so that was all going well. Popped to the shop, get myself some filter floss, that kind of thing. Saw these little Thai Ranchus, 17 quid. Couldn't believe it. Thought they were really cheap, so I didn't get any for the pond though. They were Thai fish. I didn't think they were overwinter very well, but it was bargain, I thought, for those nice wens. Anyway, there's my pond. It's looking all right. It's got the Ranchu in there now. A mixture of 5 different fish. I believe they're all Tosai. Even though I've bought them on separate, they're all, I think they're within a year old. So, but we can see there, really from the top when we look, how different the orange or red is compared to some of the fish. And right on the left hand side of the screen, that Joaquin, you can see that's one I'm going to breed from this year, or next year I should say. You can see how deep that red is. I've got the big female, and then that, and this is the collection I've built up, the 5 Ranchu. And today I'm hoping, or within this video, I'm hoping to be able to get these Ranchu into their in-shed pond. As I say, this video was shot a while ago now, but it was before the temperature really turned cold. I wanted to get them inside the shed. I know that it's connected to the outside pond, so it's not going to make too much of a difference in temperature, but frost settling on the surface and just me being able to go in there and monitor them, I thought it would be a bit easier, to be honest with you. So that's the whole point of keeping these guys separate. I also built that indoor shed pond for the future if I need to remove the big female from the outside shed, just to make sure she's settled. I don't want the big female to be chased too much over the summer, so she loses scales again. So anyway, I thought I'd show you my selection of Tancho style Joaquin goldfish. You can see them there, some with more of a dots on their head, but they were looking quite good. I thought I'd pop that in. Now anyway, this is the part I was waiting for. Waited for ages. Got it from AliExpress online, and only to then come back and find out I'd missed the package, and I was waiting for it to plug up that hole so I could actually start using this indoor shed pond. And I thought it was the right diameter when I ordered it. Popped it inside, and you know, it wasn't, basically. So as I may have said before, I do use a lot of silicone, or I have in the past. So silicone was my friend in this situation, and I basically just filled in the gap to make sure that it would attach to that pipe. I came up with various different ideas of how to have I cut off a bit of 50mm pipe and slotted it in that bend there to try and make a kind of waste drain area. But I came up with so many different scenarios of how I thought it would work best, and in the end I actually just went with this piece that had a piece of 50mm siliconed onto it very messily, and leaving one of them as the overflow in case anything was to happen, and I'm pushing the other one in, which creates a kind of surface skimming. So in that one there that goes all the way down to the bottom, there should be at least some kind of detritus being pulled from the bottom. You can see how mucky it is there. I'm just giving it a clean out before I fill it back up again. That's the idea anyway. If it's going to settle in this in-shed pond, that's not the end of the world. I'll just make sure I'm siphoning from this one when I do water changes. I might even end up using the dechlorinator in that indoor shed pond, so I know how much is going in there, that kind of thing. Anyway, it was ready. I was filling it up, and it was, at least the fish weren't going to get sucked down that hole now. So I wanted to now catch the Ranchu, so that was the idea. I don't normally use a net, but it's a big net, and they don't. It's got quite a fine net. They don't seem to. I haven't really got any fins caught on it in the past. So, but if I can use my hands, I will. But I wanted to bowl them up, ready for their new home. So they're going to be inside. I did have a bit of worry about them not getting as much natural sunlight, but there is a glass door and a glass window, and I know that that's going to let a lot of light in. I'm also tempted to, next summer, put some, well, try and make some kind of skylight, basically. But there is natural light in there, and I just wanted to show that fish. One of my favourites. Got a longer body. A jade seal, they would call it, on the wen, where it's got some of that white on it as well. But you can see they're a lovely bunch of fish. My collection so far. Been waiting for those for a long time. And they're finally going to be popped inside the in-shed pond. It's going to take a bit of time to maybe grow some algae, even if I'm not sure if it will, to be honest, because of, like I said, that lack of sunlight. But I think that's a male, the larger one, judging by the shape of the anal hole. I've had a look and I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out in the spring if any of them start chasing. But I love the markings, really nice balance, that jade seal, and the longer body. I'm hoping as he or she fills out in the summer. I mean, you can see there, none of them are absolutely perfect. There's always going to be something. There's a little bit of a tail curl there. So, filling up the pond. There is some stuff that I've scrubbed off the sides there, just getting caught in the filter. So it will look a lot clearer than that in a second. But the fish are about to go into their new home, which will be good. So this is one of the configurations I came up with the downpipe from the filter. I wanted to get some aeration in that indoor Ranchu pond. And this is the moment I've been waiting for. Since I went to Thailand 10 years ago, saw Top View Ranchu. Water looks not great, but it will do, don't worry. That's only it was just clearing, going through the filter because of a water change. But yeah, that was it. I was absolutely chuffed, to be honest with you. You can see the sunlight coming through there, so it's definitely going to get some sun in the summer. It's not going to be as bright, obviously, as outside, but I'm hoping that doesn't affect too much the colours that come out of these fish. So no sunlight. So there we go. You can see the water's a bit clearer now. A bit too much food in there, I think, actually, to be honest with you. I think I fished that out in a bit, but I was just eager to get the fish, to see the fish eat in their new home. I did put a little sponge in there. Well, it's quite a big one, a jumbo sponge, to make sure that I had that ready if I ever needed to separate a fish for quarantine reasons or anything like that. Just wanted to make sure that I had some kind of cycled filter, which would help in the future. But I was really happy, I've finally got that little part, which means that the water surface will skim. One pump running both these ponds. Expensive. Electricity is expensive at the moment, so that's why I went for that option. And also, I just thought it wasn't necessary to have two, really. If lots of detritus does get stuck at the bottom of this, it acts a little bit like a sump. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I will have to just siphon from here when I do a water change, or I can potentially put another little pump in there, but I wanted to avoid that, really. But there we have it. It's not, I guess it's kind of finished now. So yeah, finished the shed pond, which is good. I could always do a little bit more, some extra capping. But it's not supposed to be the prettiest thing in the world. It's supposed to be for housing a separate kind of species, type of goldfish, which it's doing, which is brilliant. Well, I hope you have enjoyed following the video along. Obviously, I'm hoping to breed from these fish in the future. So it's something that, if that's something you want to see, feel free to follow along. I'm never going to pretend that I'm the best at DIY, but I'm trying to build some nice environments for the fish. And I've got some more plans actually for the shed. A kind of a racking system I'm going to hopefully put up, because I think if I'm gonna breed, I definitely need some tubs of some sort to house all these fry. And I'm hoping it goes well. So that's what I'm really looking forward to in the summer. But you can see the fish just settling in there. I'm hoping there's not too much flow because of that downpipe. That's something that might be adjusted in the future. But I always turn off my pumps anyway when I'm feeding the fish. They seem to then recognise that then I'm about to feed them. Doesn't like it in this situation because there's food in the water, but again, this was me just being eager. So there we have it. Top view Ranchu pond finally has top view Ranchu in it. It took a while. It's the most budget pond you can imagine. The whole pond ended up costing me about £100. The fish are worth a lot more than that, and it's really just a place to house them, ready to build in the future. Build on this collection, breed my own. And if that's something you want to follow along, you're more than welcome to follow along. And I'll be putting out more videos very soon. One particular video that's coming up, I'm gonna reveal what's in this bucket. I was working, doing a water change, and I found something. Something that I think is going to help me out for next year. So I'm not going to say any more, but if you fancy following along, you can find out what's in that bucket. All right, thanks for watching.